track system was not favorable because when I came out of SHS, I felt like I've been in home more than I was in school.
Having NPP in power for 8 good years, I mean, with the exception of the free SHS policy, I don't know of any policy that has been executed by the NPP.
I feel like the solution to our problems or leadership in this country is more of behavioral. If they change their hearts and minds towards the people and take the interest of the people to heart, sacrifice for the people, because I believe leadership is all about sacrifice.
Based on the track records of these political parties, and especially the major ones, NDC, NPP, they come and they don't do anything. So someone will be like, I'm not going to vote. But if you don't vote, how then do you want the country to improve or to develop?
Now, available data show that 73.7% of Ghana's population is made up of people between the ages of 35. That tells us that the youth really makes a larger part of Ghana's population. However, the Youth Bridge Foundation reports that young people are not really interested in voting. It shows that they don't show a lot of enthusiasm when it comes to the electoral process. And this is worrying because if we have a lot of our population being a youthful population and they are not part of the decision-making process, then it's a conversation that we should have, right? According to the Afrobarometer reports as well, they talk about the fact that the young people think that the economy is heading in a wrong direction. Generally, the government is not really doing well when it comes to making sure that they are putting the economy in the right path. So they see in terms of job creation, in terms of the economy, in terms of education, they feel that their governments are not doing so well. So these young people tend to be unemployed. That's according to what the Afrobarometer Round 2 survey reports in 2022, I beg your pardon, reviewed. So there's a need to have a conversation on how do we position young people to be interested in having that interest in voting in the election. So December 7th is coming, and we at POS are going to give you a very on-the-round coverage on the election. This is POS Election Watch, counted by the youth. My name is Gideon Nicholas Day, and today's show will be speaking to a first-time voter and then one person who has also voted before to find out what their take on the election process is so far. December 7th is coming. Are they ready for it? And even as a first-time voter, what are the expectations? This and many more we'll be having on the show. So my guest is Patrick Kekeli Kutubrija, right?
Yeah, yes, that's right.
Such a name. He is the vice president of UNIGAP, University of Ghana Psychology Students Association.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Yeah, and he's also a student and a first-time voter. I got everything right.
That's right.
Great. And I'm also joined by Sandra Abunabansa. She is a student. She's a second-time voter. She's also a member of the University of Ghana Parliament House. Yes. All right, great. Got everything too right.
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Welcome.
You being a first-time voter, I'm sure you have heard a lot of things in the news. You've heard probably your parents have voted back and forth if they went to queue and what have you.
Yes.
How would you assess Ghana's electoral process so far from somebody who has not voted and sitting at the back end and just watching people engage in the electoral process?
Okay, so over the years, I would say that there has been discrepancies in the electoral process in terms of fairness and transparency. There are instances where these political parties deploy their people to polling station to influence people or provide some kind of aid or support to them in order to win their sympathy and favor when it comes to the day of election. And I believe that this impacts the decision making of these youth, because they have to make decisions based on the policies of each of the political parties and being objective about whatever they are bringing on board and make a decision that is devoid of influence. However, it's not the case because of these practices of politicians and all. Yes, so I believe
from a point of view of somebody who is just assessing what is going on in the electoral process.
Yes.
I mean, when you sit back, you see that people are being influenced to vote.
Exactly.
Okay, interesting. How about you? How would you assess it? Maybe you have voted before, so even before that, and then coming in as well.
Okay. So I agree with him that people are being influenced in a way, but then let's not focus on the bad influence and all that. The EC has done a good job. They make sure that they organize election every 4 years. And then when you sit back, there has been a peaceful election throughout all the elections that we've had so far. So I think with the assessment, they've done a good job. And then I also think that with the coming years, if they should continue with the transparency and peaceful election, this country is going to be a better
Do you
place
think
for
that all
all
the
of us.
elections have been peaceful? I mean, there's
Not
been killings, like also people dying
But it
and
hasn't gotten to
everything.
the extreme as it happens in other countries where there are wars because of elections and all of that. With Ghana, it hasn't been the case. Even though there are these minor occurrences, it hasn't gotten to that extreme. Yeah, because it's an election, it's politics. All of these things will definitely happen. But to the extent of it becoming a national war, it hasn't gotten there yet. And I think that I agree with her, as she said that the EC are doing their best.
What attracts you to Ghana's politics? I mean, the electoral process.
the peaceful, since it's peaceful, you just wake up early in the morning, you join your queue, you vote, you go back to your house, you wait for the results. I think it's a cool process. Yeah, and it's not tiring. Like it's
Are you
not.
sure- are you sure it's not tiring?
It's not tiring because if you should, it's election day. You've planned to vote. You have your voter's ID and all that.
Yeah.
So you plan your day. You wake up very early. You join the queue. You vote. You move back to your house.
So if every-
So it becomes tiring when you, as the individual, you want to influence other people, or as political parties, you want to make things very cumbersome. You try to.
Do you think the whole
influ-
process of influencing people is stress on its
it's
own?
because you are trying to convince someone. For instance, you come to me, you want to convince me. I already have my, like the person I want to vote for, I've decided already. So you come to me, you want to convince me. Maybe I'm trying not to agree with you. You keep on forcing, maybe give me money. Someone will also come to interfere. And then this causes havoc. So without the influence and money, votes buying and all that, I think the process is very smooth. You just wake up in the morning, go join the queue, vote, and go back to your house.
So you have voted. You voted in 2020.
Yes,
so
I
how
voted
was
in
the process? How was the process? What time did you wake up?
I woke up like 5.
5 a.m.
Yes,
to go and
5 a.m.
vote.
to go and vote.
Were you very passionate?
I was very happy
Did you
because
want to vote for Joe Mama? You wanted to remove Nana Akufo-Addo?
okay, so because I voted based on the manifesto that these political parties brought. So though
Okay, I
I'm
think
an-
we'll talk
yeah,
about
we'll
the
talk about
manifestos
yes.
directly. But then I want
Okay.
to look at your process when you woke up in the morning
Okay.
and then going through like the electoral process. How was it for you?
So it was cool. It was okay, as I said earlier. So I just woke up early in the morning, went to join the queue, patiently waited for my turn. I did the biometric something. I just went to the poll. I was given the ballot paper. I voted. I folded it, put it in the box, and then I just turned and went back home.
A lot of people were in there.
People were there.
So how long did it take
I
you?
don't really remember, but then approximately, let's say, like 2 hours.
2 hours.
Yes.
That's fair.
Do you know when I was vote? It was like 10 minutes.
You see, so it's a very cool
so
process.
it was a two-way thing. I was like, if I go and people are there, I'll not vote.
Why?
That was it. Because I felt like I wasn't going to queue a lot for like for maybe stay in a whole like put all my whole day into that. So I was going to do that. So when I went there, and at the moment so I just I joined the queue and then I voted and it was quite easy. So but then you see other things happening in other constituencies and other polling stations and how it goes. So for you as well, a first time voter, do you think you've been educated well enough on maybe the electoral processes and everything so far?
Yes, I've been fairly educated because I engage the media, so I'm quite informed about that. Yeah.
Okay, so have you done your national ID card, your voter's ID card?
Yes, I have.
Okay, how long did it take?
Okay, so I didn't do it when they first started.
All right.
Yeah, so it was later. Then I was on campus one day, and then a friend called me that it was ongoing at Legon Hall, so I should quickly rush there and then get it done. Yeah, unfortunately, I wasn't with my Ghana card that day, but I had a snapshot of it on my phone. So when I went there, there were a few people. Then I think there was network issues. So they told me to go and come back in the next 2 hours. Yeah, so I went to stay in the library for 2 hours and then came back to join the queue. When I came, there were a lot of people there, so I had to join another queue to go through the process. Yeah, so I was in the queue, moving from one chair to the other until it got to my turn where they took my name and my particulars and everything. So the process itself, as in when it got to my turn to do all of that, it didn't take more than 20 minutes, and I was done taking off pictures and everything. I got my
You got
ID
your
card.
card then. Your ID card then.
Yes, I got it there and then.
Okay.
And that was it. Yes.
That's nice. Anyway, so yeah, we all agree that the processes maybe might be easy for us, but then what might also influence the whole process of you going to form that queue to actually voting for somebody, whether it's a political party, whether it is an independent candidate or anybody. Have you listened to the manifestos? Have you listened to the political parties? And which of them blew you away?
Okay, thank you very much. I haven't listened to all the political parties' manifestos.
Okay.
But then with the ones that I have, I think NDC's manifesto.
NDC manifesto is given.
Yeah, it's given.
It's given.
It stands out.
Why? Why do you say that?
Because it captures the youth. It captures the youth and bringing out policies that is going to take the educational stress of students and also job creation, human development.
So you said that the NDC manifesto absorbs a lot of what the youth are craving for.
Exactly.
Can you list a few of them that you
Yes,
think that they are going to
yes.
resolve?
Yes, so youth development ministry to crave the Burton and e-levy, and also free tertiary institution for people with disability, and also level 100 tertiary students. For the first level 100 tertiary students are going to enjoy free academic fees until they move to their next level. And also the reintroduction of the student trust loan fund plus, yes. So I think with these policies, I mean, every youth is trying to better themselves with their education. So if these politics is in alignment to the youth aspirations and ambition, why not? Why wouldn't I vote for such person to come and then lead me?
Okay, so had you made your decision before you heard the NDC?
Yes, I had.
That you were going to vote for?
NDC.
Because
having NPP in power for 8 good years, I mean, with the exception of the free SHS policy, I don't know of any policy that has been executed by the NPP. If there's any, I would be glad if
there
you
are
tell
a lot of
like
policies that the NDC has done.
NPP, I mean NPP,
yes, they
for
launched
8
a
good
guarantor system for
Okay.
Students as well.
Okay.
They are constructing a lot of roads.
roads.
I mean,
Which one? Because I know of a road in Junction Mall.
Okay.
The overhead that they started, I think is
But they're
almost.
still under construction.
No, if you go there, a lot of dust, bad. The road is very bad, and the people living around are really suffering because of the dust. So I think if you are not ready to construct, don't begin it, because this harm that they've caused is very bad. The road that is started, they are not even ready to construct it. So why then do you begin it to cause problem to the people living around the area?
All right. Do you agree with it? Do you think that the NPP has done a terrible job with our economy? Because I mean, our system, anything she says, nothing really appeals to her when it comes to the NPP's manifesto.
Yeah, so today I'm going to be quite objective in this conversation.
All right, let's have it.
Yes. So honestly, when the NPP came into power, I think they were faced with the COVID issue. So even before that, the economy, I think Ghana's economy was one of the fastest growing economies in Africa during that time before COVID stepped in. And then they had issues with managing the economy as they started. So right from that, and that is what they always use as an excuse in response to the mismanagement of the government, the economy. Yeah. So I believe that they have done their bits. They have done their bits as to when it comes to free SHS. Because myself, I was a benefactor of that. Yeah. Okay. I went to school for the entire 3 years without paying school fees and hostel, that's boarding fees and all of that. Yeah, so and that is one thing I have benefited from. And also,
but going through the free SHS,
Yeah.
would you say it was a good process? Because I know they were complaining about the quality of food, books were not coming, the uniforms were not so good, and everything.
Yeah. So yeah,
There
even
were
though
matrons stealing food and
with in addition to
the
that,
double track
track system.
Yeah.
the double track system was not favorable because when I came out of SHS, I felt like I've been in home more than I was in school. Yeah, because you go to school 3 months and then just come back. Sometimes it's not even
That's
after 3 months.
terrible.
Just come back home and
So
then
do you
go
think
back
the
to
free
school.
SHS is good as normal?
Oh, it has given opportunity for a lot of people to go to SHS because of the free SHS, the number of people who have, went to SHS that year increased or during their tenure increased, and they've had the opportunity to even advance to the tertiary level. So, in as much as the quality of education at that instance wasn't really up there, it still gave the opportunity for these people. So when they get to the tertiary institutions, they can also pick up, even though they haven't really had the rich or the very quality education that they need to thrive academically. When they get there, they can find their grounds and go about their lives. And I think that is a plus. But there are other.
Objectively speaking, on the the NPP's tenure of office.
Yeah, talking of the pros and cons.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you are just analyzing for us.
Yes, please.
Okay. So you were making a point about the fact that the COVID-19 pandemic hit them at the time where Ghana's economy was one of the fastest growing ones.
Yes.
So afterwards, what then happened?
Yeah, afterwards the economy started declining. That's when inflation issues came in. The dollar started rising, and prices of goods on the markets were so exorbitant that even people found it difficult to have three square meals a day, and it was very troubling to most homes or people who really didn't have the wherewithal to have a meaningful life. And also they claim they have created 1.2 million jobs for the youth.
Oh, 2.3.
2.3.
Said that.
Oh, really? That's nice.
2.3 million jobs, but there's still unemployment issue amongst the youth. Students graduate from the university with good classes and all of that, and they don't get jobs to do. They don't get posted, and like there are no opportunity for them. They feel like they have wasted their entire 4 years in the university to come out and then just be come and aid their parents at home or come and do something menial.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, they are graduates. It's a big thing to graduate from the university, and you deserve to work in
And more.
and yeah, work in places that you wish to work in. Yeah. So and beyond that too, their manifesto with regards to IT, improving IT and all of it. Yes.
IT
Yeah.
platform.
Myself personally, I'm passionate about all of these IT tech stuff. Yes, I think it's a very good policy. It's a very good initiative that when they bring, is going to give us the necessary skills as youth in order to compete in this competitive world or landscape. Yeah, because the globalization, nations are coming together, and what we can have as a people is our ability to use these digital tools to create the right outcomes in our markets, in our marketplaces, in our businesses, healthcare, and all of that. So it has always been talk, 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 talk. We don't really see action on the ground. So as they are saying, if it's not just a fake promise as they've always been doing, and they are able to roll out these policies when they come into power, I believe that is going to give a boost to the youth experience in the nation.
And so for you, based on that, the NPP has bought you with their policies in their manifesto.
No, they haven't bought me entirely. I'm just being
No, because you said you like
Yeah, IT
digitalization,
yeah,
IT.
I
But
can
even
talk about
wanted
You went to free SHS, so you are an NPP lover.
no, at all, at all. I'm so let me say apathetic about this whole
Right.
politics thing. I want to just go by what is happening,
Okay.
track record, and then make a decision. Because when the NDC also have very insightful.
But do you think the conversation about track record all the time, like really, because today NDC is talking about their track record and
no,
let's
but then the
debate
track
records
record
and
also counts because weighing the two, NDC has done better than NPP. Because last, like 12 years ago,
Yes,
when
when they were in
NDC
power.
was in power, I think that was when NDC constructed the Circle Dubai thing, and it's really helping.
We get
but
that,
with the
but then,
8
okay.
years that NPP has come to power, comparing that 8 years to 4 years,
They
there's
could
a
have done
vast
better,
difference.
honestly.
They could have, done.
they say
So
that-
what shows that you couldn't do anything in 8 years? Let me not say anything. You couldn't do much in 8 years.
Yes.
What's the possibility or probability that when you come in the 12 years you do something? No.
Okay. They say that yesterday price not today's price, right?
Oh,
Wait,
really?
hold on.
But yesterday determines today.
Right. So the fact that in my own opinion about the track record conversation and back and forth, but like both parties saying that we did better, this person we are doing better, and I think we are progressing as a nation.
In a way.
So we should look at the progress initiatives, and because I don't think that you should expect last year to be better than next year. You should always expect
next
year
to
be
better
better.
than
So when we
last
keep
year.
comparing the past to the present, sometimes I feel like it is a bit dicey anyway.
No, but then no, you have to, because if you don't, then what shows that the future is going to be better?
I mean, that's
you
a
have
point
to.
too.
There's a saying that the window in the past gives something to the future. I've forgotten. So if you look through the yesterday's window, it will give you a clear view of how tomorrow is going to be like. Yes.
Okay, nice. Anyway, what would you say is your biggest challenge as a young person? Have you thought through that?
Okay, growing up, I would say we've been under the buffers of our parents. We don't really experience the issues or the heat of the moment. Yeah, but growing up now, ever since I entered the university, I kind of faced the realities on the ground. And whatever I hear, the economy is hard, Ghana ahead and all of that. I'm now seeing the reality, honestly. Because you can be on campus and sometimes the whole day you haven't eaten and you feel like, no, you have to go get something to eat. And on Legon campus, if you don't have 20 cedis and above, you can't have a meaningful meal to eat. So there are a lot of challenges, even with regards to accommodation issue on campus. That is one of the greatest challenges on campus when it comes to students' mental health and their academic performance and all of that. Because commuting from home to school every day, I have experienced that a number of times, even though I was in Commonwealth and level 100, because of the in-out policy, I was ejected from the hall, and I have to now struggle for accommodation. And because I didn't get, I'm now a non-resident, and every day I commute from home to school. Recounting all of the challenges, the traffic when you close. Sometimes you have late lectures at 7:30. You get back home. Even what you go through before you get home, whether you can't even study.
So that has brought you a realization of what really the issues are on ground compared to growing up and some of the things that you used to see.
Yeah. Growing up, everything is done for you. Like you don't really have to have anything to think about.
So your challenge is really the economy and the state of Ghana's economy.
Exactly, because now I'm not out of university yet, so I wouldn't say unemployment is something that is really affecting me now.
So is it food, the prices of food, data challenges, and maybe expenditure generally?
Yeah, so expenditure, being able to afford.
Exactly.
Yeah, afford the food.
Yeah. I would agree with him. Because we are all students. We are now coming up. And I was also in voter hall until the in-out police. So I went out of campus, and every day there's stress. I'm also a sports student. So after my lectures, I have to go for training. Before I get home, it's like 8. What time do you have to learn? You are also tired. You want to sleep, wake up early, and all that. That stress is really, really, tiring.
It's really stressful.
Mental health.
Mental health.
It's not easy. I know, right? So then you talked about this expenditure, food, everything else. Do you think that the government, they put policies that are going to solve them for you? That's why I wanted to get a challenge and see if we see, like, maybe at the end of the tunnel, is there light?
Yeah, because when you look at the MDC, they are talking about easy access to accommodation, like affordable campus accommodation. So if I have accommodation on campus that I don't have to board any car to get to campus. All I have to do is to wake up, shower, go for lectures, and then focus on food. I think that money that I'll use for transportation is going to cater for my food and other expenses. So with that, it has captured something that really stresses me, and I think is helpful. So with this, I would go for this policy rather than focusing on digitalization and all that. And also, NDC is also trying to capture youth development, empowerment of youth. NPP is trying to focus on digitalization.
Yeah. But then digitalization is boosting a way of economy.
It's
AI, the future, everything.
AI, okay.
Now,
so if AI comes, then it means we are also going to lose our jobs, right?
You mean
we are going
you need to be more educated to be able to use
but
the
then
AI.
if we are focusing, I'm not saying digitalization is bad.
Okay.
No, I'm into it. But then the fact that they are trying to put more emphasis on it
that,
rather
no.
than human development, because the youth, we are young, we are energetic. So if you help us, if you empower us, motivate us to acquire more skills, train us, you give us the avenue, the requisite skills for us to be able to enter the job market and do better. So I think that one is a plus. I mean, with the NDC, not because I'm an NDC, because I told you, I was saying that I voted for NPP sometime. That was my
Yeah.
first, yes.
You have. Where did you
I
voted
voted for
because?
the NPP because of the free SHS.
Okay.
I had already been in
And are you
school.
proud that you voted for that particular because of
That
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 policy?
particular policy, yes, because I had my younger brother too behind me, so yes, when I completed, he also
Maybe
enjoyed.
the NPP people they hear this do hammer
No,
on more on free
I know, right?
SHS.
But it was a good thing because I didn't only benefit other colleagues, my family, and all that. So it was a plus. But then after I completed and I realized that with apart from the free SHS, there wasn't any policy that really benefited me. So
Okay.
what's the essence? Like, yes, infrastructure development, some roads, poor roads, and all that. So irrespective, like from apart from the free SHS, there hasn't been any policy that has really affected me or drawn my attention or actually captured my attention. So why should I still go for it?
All right. So she has talked about the solutions she thinks that she sees in the NDC's
Yes,
manifestos as
NDC.
well.
Yeah.
How about you? Do you see any solution to the challenges that you mentioned?
Yes, there are quite a number of them, as I have already mentioned, with the digitalization
Digitalization, okay.
policy. And then there's one that I saw in the NDC policy documents, face curbing corruption.
Yeah.
Yes, instituting corruption,
Yeah.
anti-corruption
Yeah.
institutions, and all of that.
I think they have this oral, ORAL. It has a meaning
Yeah,
of
policy.
getting all the loot back or something like that.
Yes, yeah. So I believe that that can go to some extent to reduce corruption, because the core of our problems in this nation is corruption.
Yeah, I think it's Operation Recover All the Loot.
All
AORAL.
the
Yeah,
leads,
from the
exactly.
NDC.
Yeah. So we can have leaders that have great visions. We can have leaders that have visions that really speaks to our challenges, that are pertinent to our challenges, and can make this country better for us. But how about the behavioral or the attitude aspect? If there are policies that are being rolled out and there are people in the system that are pilfering, that are embezzling funds and all of that, how can these policies come to life as they have been projected? So I believe that even though these institutions can make an effort, these institutions are being manned by human beings as well. And human beings can be manipulated as it happens everywhere.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's really going to solve the problem unless they are also going to stand their grounds and do their work as they should. Then, so I feel like the solution to our problems or leadership in this country is more of behavioral. If they change their hearts and minds towards the people and take the interest of the people to heart, sacrifice for the people, because I believe leadership is all about sacrifice. I haven't been so much into leadership, but for the past year of my stay in the University of Ghana,
Okay.
I have actively participated in leadership. And one of the things that I've realized is before you can be impactful as a leader, it's all about sacrifice. It's all about sacrifice, giving your all to the people to ensure that they excel academically. In my context, they excel academically, or they don't have issues in registering their courses and all of these things. Then that is when you are really making the impact, not even thinking about yourself. Because there are sometimes that you do certain things at the expense of your own peace of mind or mental health and all of that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Gideon,
so
I think
we need leaders
so.
who
He's actually talking for this policy, human development.
Yeah.
Because
Hold on, I even
everything
have an
boils
interesting
down.
question for him.
Okay.
You sound like you're buying into the NDC and the NPP policies. This is Albert Swan,
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. I'm just being objective about everything. But at the end of the
But then
day,
at the end of the
I'm
day,
going to make a
yeah,
decision because I
definitely.
have to make a decision. Yes, I have the right to vote according to the Article 42 of the 1992 Constitution. Yes, so I'm going to vote, and that is how I can contribute to the decision
quota.
making in this country. Yes.
Right. The NCC is in charge of civic education in terms of letting people know how they're supposed to vote and everything. Have you seen them doing the work of educating you as a fresh voter?
Okay, so the last time I heard about NCC was when I saw one
been a
link
while
in one WhatsApp group where they were calling for membership drive. Yeah, so I was interested, so I registered, filled the form and all of that, and we had a group. Ever since I haven't heard anything about that,
likewise.
no initiative, no meeting, nothing. And I haven't seen anything physically on campus.
So I think that is
so
why the NDC is bringing this policy up
Which
to
policy?
educate the Youth Development Ministry, to educate the youth, empower them,
Okay.
provide them with the adequate skills.
Yeah, but
Do you understand?
yeah, we get it. But then I
Yeah.
wanted to look at. I mean, each of the institutions are built for a particular reason, and the
Yeah.
NCC is for like civic
Civic,
education. And even now, I'll say the electoral commission is doing the job for educating people on the electoral processes that the NCC is supposed to be doing. That's why I'm asking. If as a fresh voter, the NCC is not reaching out to you, then maybe it's a problem. That
Yeah,
maybe they are
problem,
not
they're
a
not
bit
really.
engaging with us as well. But are there problems that you face? Do you think you face in the electoral process, and do you have any plans of how to overcome them?
Yes, so I may face issue of influence, external influence from these political parties, even on the day of election
Yeah.
at the polling station.
If they give you money, you won't collect.
Hey,
I mean, for the money, I'll take the money, all right.
I'll take,
but at the end of the day, I'm
made
making
my
my decision, and
yes.
that is what I'm
That
going by.
money
But if you
wouldn't
say
influence me.
I won't take the money, I won't take the money, but then I have my own decisions. Well, but if you want to take
No,
the
no, we
money,
want to take it. Who doesn't want money? Okay, so it's going to be like we are going into corruption, but that's not it. It's like you know that's the issue, and you are giving me the money.
There's a contradiction here. Okay, so let's say you're giving me money as transportation to the place. I may see it
Tip,
as
could be a
just
tip.
being kind,
Kind,
yeah,
yes.
because I have no idea of that. This is my first time going to vote. Yes, so even though I already have my decision, I'm not going to say because you have aided me in getting or committing to the place, I'm going to vote in your favor. No, I'm not going to do that. And so, yeah, basically, that's the money is coming with a purpose, and I'm receiving it on that purpose, not withstanding or not including any other factor. Yes. So.
and then how you'd overcome it. I mean, I asked about challenges you overcome as a first-time voter when you're going to vote, and
Yes,
that's what I told
there are
you.
other challenges that has to do with the media, information
Okay.
on social media.
Right.
So there are a lot of instances where information are taken out of context, and there are form of biases. There are some media houses that are politically inclined and push propaganda in some areas of while these political parties engage the media, or they engage the public, or respond to certain questions and grievances of the people. So these, if I'm going strictly, or if I'm going by all of these information, and these informations are not valid in themselves, then I'm going to make a wrong decision at the end of the day. Yes. So I think what I'm going to do to remedize that is to look at their policies and manifestos, and then look at their track records, and look at what I'm going through now, as in the heat of the moment. What am I feeling? What am I seeing? And make a decision. And that would help me make a more informed decision that is devoid of influences.
Okay.
Yes.
That's devoid of influences. For the US, well, you have voted in 2020. So do you see any changes in 2024 elections, and do you see any striking similarities that might influence your decision come December 7th?
Okay, so I'm just hoping that this election is going to be as peaceful as we've always been experiencing. Yes, but then with the influence, it all comes back again. And then I think this time the youth needs to take it upon themselves to educate other youth, because it's the right of every individual who is eligible to vote. But then we have other youth, based on the track records of these political parties, and especially the major ones, NDC, NPP, they come and they don't do anything. So someone will be like, I'm not going to vote. But if you don't vote, how then do you want the country to improve or to develop?
Yeah.
So I think it is the responsibility of we the youth to also educate other youth. And with the influence, you see some of the elderly, they don't really have much knowledge about
Yeah.
this election and all that. So when, as you said, when someone is being tipped or given money, say, oh, this person gave me money, so let me just vote for the person.
Instant gratification.
Exactly, without taking into consideration the manifestos or whatever that person is trying to do for him or her. So I think with this, we the youth, we have a lot of tasks. We need to educate the elderly, let them know it's not about money, it's not about
Today.
the person that you are affiliated to, it's not about who you like, it's about the policies, it's about what the person is going to do. Is the person going to listen to your concerns? Is the person going to try and develop the country? Are you also going to benefit? Because some people, they don't really care. Since I like Bawumia, he's handsome. Since I like Mahama, he's handsome, I'm voting for him, irrespective of whether the policy is going to benefit me or not. And I think that's one thing that we really have to put in much effort and then educate the whole country about. I think it will really help, and that is going to also affect the results that we see at the end of the elections as well.
Very interesting insights.
Yeah.
I like that. Do you have any message for the youth? If you're supposed to give the young people of Ghana some advice and the coming elections, what would you say?
Yeah, so my sister has said a lot regarding that here. As I'm saying, they should look beyond today. They should look beyond today, because the issues on the ground now can predict the predicaments of the future. So they should make their decision based on what is happening in the country, the policies of each of the political parties, and it shouldn't be, and they shouldn't feel like their votes don't count, or just one vote, what difference is it going to make? It counts, and that is how you can make your voice. That is how you can influence decision making, whether you're voting for NPP, NDC, or the new force, whichever political party you're voting for. You should have meaning and reasons to that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Have meaning and
And
reasons
reasons.
Yes.
to that as well. I mean, those are very insightful insights that I think that anybody listening should be able to take away from a conversation that we have with these two amazing lady and gentleman. And then we've been speaking about expectation as a young voter, first-time voter as well, looking generally into the atmosphere in Ghana. If you're going on December 7th, what would they look forward to? But one last question. If you were president today, what is that one thing that you implement? I'll start with you, Kekeli.
Yeah, if I was a president today, you're talking about the specific policies.
Yeah, being a young person, something that will really touch the soul of every young person in Ghana.
Yeah, so I'm going to provide opportunities for students to add the educational system. So we are going to reform the educational system such that students will be equipped with the requisite skills needed in the job market.
Okay.
Because my coming here into the university, I've attended a few conferences that are related to life after school, and you realize that everything that is needed in the job market there for you to excel in the job market is not really taught in class. It's not taught in the psychology or English that you're doing. But I believe that there are other things, or there are certain courses that should be added to the courses that we are doing that are going to give us the skills, the emotional intelligence, the teamwork, the you being able to think on your feet as a youth. All of these skills are required in the job market, and if we are able to have a lot of these skills, by the time we come out of the university, we wouldn't be struggling in the job market. We wouldn't go to the offices, or we wouldn't have jobs, and then we would always be relying on our bosses for assistance for everything. Yes, so the educational system is one thing that I'm going to
Educational
look at.
system grants opportunities for young people as well.
Yeah.
For you as well, if you're president for today.
Educational system. So I'm going to consolidate the free tertiary university for everyone, because I believe tertiary university is the most stressful times of our lives. Even with people on scholarships and all that, they do
Okay.
face challenges, because sometimes you are on scholarship though, but the scholarship doesn't cover everything. So sometimes you find accommodation difficult, what you are going to eat on campus and all that. So if I become president for one day, or president, that is
Yeah.
what I'm going to focus on, because
Agency
yes,
president.
being on campus, it's not easy. People feel like
Very easy.
it's an easy thing. It's not. Being just entering into the university doesn't solve it all. How you are going to manipulate or navigate your way through the university, people having research, sometimes they don't even know anything about it. People are first generational people to the university, so they don't have any background advice from home, so they are new. So these people need something to consolidate them, strengthen them to move. So if you support them fully, like the free SHS, I think it's going to be a very good idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
You liked free SHS. You liked free SHS. You like free level 100. So do you think all our education
No,
systems should be free?
no, that's
Yeah,
not what
entities, so
that's
now
not
we are
what
coding.
I'm saying. But then, you see, averagely, the Ghanaian, like a lot of Ghanaians are actually facing challenges
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
regards to education. People will complete with good grades, but they don't have money to buy university forms. They have to stay in their house. People have completed with good grades, but they don't have people to even motivate them. Oh, you can do it, just try and buy. These problems really affect the mental health, health of people,
Yeah.
especially students. And with this, as a lady, if you have these challenges, this is where you fall victim to
Sugar daddy.
sugar daddy and stuff. You
Yeah, the
see,
boys do fraud and all of that.
it's not
Yeah.
the best. And I'll also consolidate girl child education, like to strengthen the girls, to educate them that sugar daddy is not the only option for you to yes for you to
Sandra
achieve
for
your
president.
educational aspirations or dreams. Yeah.
Right, thank you so much. I think one thing is clear that education is at the forefront of
Yeah.
every young Ghanaian looking, expecting that education should be a priority from every government. Every leader should prioritize young people, the education when it comes to, like she talked about, girl child as well, and expecting that all of us. So you talk about education when you become
Yeah.
president. He also talked about
Edu-
opportunities here
yeah.
for young people as well. Thank you so much for joining us on this week's episode of Counted by the Youth, our election counter show right here at Pulse. My name is Gideon Nicholas Day. I've had Patrick Kekeli Kutubrija. Oh my God, what does it mean? What does it mean? Kutubrija, what does it mean?
There's an interesting meaning to that, but I wouldn't want to discuss.
And the
it
exclusive
here.
interview. He is the vice president of the University of Ghana Psychology Students Association, and also a first-time voter. He'll be voting for the first time in December 7. And also we have Sandra Bansa. She is a member of the University of Ghana Parliament House, also a student, and will be voting for the second time in December 7. My name is Gideon Nicholas Day.